The eternal question of why life exists, I'm sure you have it too. We could have searched for the answer together. Finding our civilization vanished must be devastating and increase your feeling of loneliness. Know that we struggled powerfully, but in the end, we lost. This is the story of how we vanished. To anyone who reads this, may you not repeat our mistakes. There was, I believe, far more good about us than bad. Our culture was rich and beautiful. We built Stonehenge, the pyramids, cathedrals, and impressive technology. Our music and art contained deep truths and answers to our most profound questions that cannot be expressed any other way. You can say that we had it all. Our lands were vast and beautiful. We had all the resources we need. We knew love as well as kindness. Our technologies gave us near-godlike powers. Sometimes we acted strange, and at times we were very extreme in our behavior. We fought ourselves in wars over resources or religion. Our best weapons replicated the power of the sun, and we built enough of them to destroy our planet many times over. But as much as we fought, disagreed, and endlessly bickered, it wasn't war that ended us. I believe it was these awesome powers that made us slowly forget where we came from. Slowly but surely, we discarded all the values that had given rise to our great civilization in the first place. Essentially, we lost touch with who we are. Without these values and their derived guiding principles, we discovered a boundless individualism that made us forget the value of community, service, sacrifice, and common sense. Ultimately, we took God's place, as each and every one of us knew no one but themselves. We decided that it is better to increase the profit of a handful of corporations by shipping millions of jobs to countries where labor was cheapest. As a consequence, our children lost well-paying jobs. Raising a family became near impossible, but we accepted this anyway. We developed a form of greed so destructive it prevented our own children from having children of their own. They were simply too poor, and even when they couldn't afford houses anymore, we pursued our profit strategies without mercy or compassion. As poverty increased, we taxed what little was left in the name of redistribution. The demoralizing effects were beyond comparison. Belief in the power of the individual disappeared in favor of collectivist ideals. On a personal level, the felt perception of life was one of despair as a result of its dullness. Especially our men found themselves in a life that had no purpose or meaning. We branded male character traits responsible for all that is wrong in the world and shamed them. Before the end came, our men were the most isolated and lonely part of the species, caught in a corporate hell world. Our society failed our women even more so. Corporate culture decided that having women raising children was bad for business, and our culture demanded women to go to work as well. Women who stayed at home were sometimes judged because of it. You may not believe me. Shaming the part of the species that can keep it alive for trying to keep it alive makes no sense, but that is what we did. Gigantic corporations loved it. Share prices went up. We got so out of touch, we managed to override motherly instincts too. We convinced women that working a corporate job in an office means fulfillment and is preferable to caring for our offspring. And it worked. By the late 2030s, Earth's population rapidly declined. In the end, there simply wasn't anybody left who could do what was needed to keep the lights on. Our system required hundreds of millions of young people to work in perfect unison. We needed them to work 8,000 coal mines, tens of thousands of mines for stone, sand, gravel, and iron. 1.6 billion hectares of crops needed attention. We needed millions of young to build and maintain over 10,000 cities, 8 million bridges, and 60 million kilometers of road networks. The effort to sustain society on Earth was gargantuan and simply not built for a population in decline. We only ever knew growth. At first, we only noticed prices going up. Then our stores closed. There were blackouts for the simple reason that job offerings went to no one. We didn't have nowhere near enough qualified people. At a certain point, the demographic pyramid was so inverted that we couldn't sustain these gigantic systems, built for 8 billion people. The sheer amount of old people made it politically impossible to uplift our young, as this would have been to the detriment of the vast majority that was our elderly population. And so, by the year 2035, the collapse began. When the bottom fell out, it fell out quickly, and by that time, any hope of fixing things had disappeared. Ultimately, the problem is that we didn't have clarity of purpose until it was too late. For hundreds of years, we were fine, just ignoring the question of why we are here. We distracted ourselves with ever more complicated layers of made-up societal games. This decadence chipped away at our humanity until there was nothing left worth saving. The loss of perhaps the only other intelligent species in the universe must be devastating, and further your sense of loneliness and despair. May you recover some of our art, our movies, our music. I hope you will find some solace in it. I hope it helps you discover what you need. Good luck.